All right, so hi everyone. I'm excited to be presenting today on Zoho One, which is an all-encompassing Zoho platform that includes over 45 different tools to run your business. I've had some criticism of the title for being for small businesses. And before I begin, I do want to let everyone know that this is also enterprise-grade software, although today I'm focusing on small business. Before I jump in, I'll tell you all a little bit more about who I am. I graduated from DePaul in 2012 with a degree in computer science. Since then, I've done various degrees and certifications in marketing to help Distinct grow and help serve our clients. We started serving clients in 2013 under a different name. In 2015, we became Distinct. In 2019, I was happily married to my wife, Shelby. And this December, we're actually expecting firstborn. So, yeah.
That's an adorable picture, by the way. Look at you.
I spent a long time trying to pick the right picture. So a little bit about Distinct. We are primarily a web design and digital marketing business. We work with small businesses and we pair them with a marketing advisor. We really want to focus on local businesses, independent businesses, and try to have someone in a community with the clients that we're working with. We want to focus on strategy and partnering with these businesses to help them be successful. So my goal today, I want to present this to you in 3 photos. The first photo is where you may be right now. You may be comfortable in the systems that you're in, or maybe like our cat on the right. These are our cats, 2 of them. Maybe on the cat on the right, you're a little cautious. You're not sure about the Zoho thing. But my goal halfway through this presentation is to help you see the light. Get you engaged with what you're seeing, a little interested. Maybe you start Googling Zoho. But then by the end, I want you to take a leap, and I'm here to hold you to make sure you can reach whatever you're reaching for. I know these are a couple years old. I was going through photos trying to figure out like which ones I should use. I wanted to use this analogy, and then these 3 just popped up, and I was like, yeah, these are them. But that's Mojito on the right. He has his own Instagram. Check him out. Slow-mo, what is it? Slow-mo Mojito, and that's OC on the left. And like I said, I want to help you take that leap and reach that goal that you're seeing. So kind of a hypothetical question, unless anyone here wants to answer, but what would you do with more time, more money, easy access to all of your business information, all of your passwords being remembered for you, with one username for everything you need in your business, for spending less time onboarding new employees and training them, and less time reviewing applications and scheduling interviews. Does that sound good to you all? Are those things you would like to spend less time on?
Yes.
Got some yeses. Good. Well, I didn't even know I wanted to save time on those things until about 10 months ago. My team and I were looking at our CRM. We were using a big name brand CRM at the time. For those of you who may not know, a CRM is a customer relationship management tool. It's the hub of all of your customer data. And I was looking at their pricing and what we needed to grow in the way we hoped to grow in 2021. And it was terrifying. There was no way I could have done it. Just couldn't have. So we needed options. A team member of ours, Jacob, said, hey, what about Zoho? And I said, I've seen them for years. I don't know. They're confusing. I don't really understand what they do. But I looked into it and it kind of led us to this time we are now. So yeah, I was frantic. And I was looking at this screen. For everything I wanted to do in our system, I needed this $4,000 a month package per user. And couldn't. There's no way. I could have maybe done the $1,780 a month per user, but still, I don't know. We would have had to triple our prices. It just wasn't going to work. So I found Zoho One. And through a lot of self-education, because admittedly, it can be overwhelming to look at these products, I was able to learn and understand what they could do for me and my business. So a little bit about Zoho. Zoho was founded in 1996 and grew profitably over 4,500 employees. Primarily, they are based in India, but they have offices in Japan, China, Singapore, somewhere in California, Austin, Texas, the Netherlands, and they're growing rapidly. And they offer different levels of products and services, including marketing and sales, project management, collaboration, finance and HR, and business process intelligence. They have over 30 million users worldwide. They're growing rapidly, and they've worked with some of those businesses you see down below. And they really want to be the operating system for your business. They want to be what your business runs on, all the tools you need. So what does that really mean? Helps you acquire and serve new customers, empower your new employees, run your operations, finance, human resources, assets, but also create differentiation, and you can even create custom business functions and applications. So this page really excites me. I loved Zoho's products when we found them, but then I learned more about the company and the culture. And this might be hard to see, but on the left corner, there's an image. And what that talks about is the Zoho farm. Zoho bought this giant plot of land in Austin, Texas. They wanted to build the next big tower, have their corporate headquarters, like a lot of tech players do. And they realized during the pandemic that that's not them. They're private, they're not flashy. They don't need a big tower. They don't need an Apple campus. So what they did is there were some existing businesses on that plot of land, and the employees work in those, some existing buildings. The employees work in those buildings, and the rest of it is an actual fully functioning farm. They've hired 2 people to manage that farm. Any Zoho employee or customer can go visit, camp, go farming, things like that on the land. On the right side, there's an image, and I'll provide these links afterwards, where Zoho is envisioning a world where they have small communities of offices in rural areas, and their whole employee system will be distributed. So again, not these big towers, not these fancy campuses, but having 10 or 15 people in a place like Greencastle, working in a small Zoho office that maybe connects to a slightly larger office in Indianapolis. And they're doing that now in Texas with an area around Texas and Mexico. They're having a bunch of small communities. I've actually been in touch with them and kind of pushed them to look at Putnam County and think of ways that they can do that here. And yeah, so the quote below, you may have already read it, but basically talking about those buildings in the space, creating this organic farm. And 2 Zoho employees now are just farmers there. So this is a really cool calculator that another company created. They're called the Workflow Academy. You can find this on their website. But this calculates how you can save money on Zoho, or by using Zoho, based on a bunch of other tools. And what I did is I customized it to what I was looking at last year when I was making this plan. You'll see the HubSpot was a giant monthly investment. There was absolutely no way I could have done it for 11 users where we wanted to be at this time. And then some other tools we're using that can also be replaced by Zoho One. So this is drastic, right? I needed a very specific part of HubSpot that was going to be very expensive, but other organizations might not save this much money, but still going to save some money. So you'll see here on the right side, $44,000 per month was what I needed with HubSpot. Again, couldn't have done it. There was just no way. There's absolutely no way. With Zoho, for the same features and all the features of these other tools, we're at $330 per month for 11 users. Just giant savings. And we're seeing savings, significant savings of $500 to $1,000 a month for most businesses we're talking to. I think that's really impressive alone. So there's no way I have the time to go into all the different tools, all the different offerings, but I want to just show some of them and help you all visualize the scope that is available within the suite. Some of the ones on this page that we use are the CRM, Sales Inbox, Sales IQ, social, surveys, marketing automation, work drive, and these replace a plethora of other services all within the ecosystem. There's a whole nother page of services, and they're adding constantly. They just released a phone system, a VoIP system for Zoho that integrates with everything. Still pretty new, but it's coming out, and it's really exciting. So these are just some of them, and I'll come back to this at another point if you guys have any questions about different items. And here's some more. Like I said, it's really very robust. So a lot of them overlap. They often merge or pull different services out. It's a very evolving ecosystem. Before I go any further, feel free at any time, for those of you here, just stop me if you do have any questions. If you're watching this online, I'm not looking at chat, but I'll get to that afterwards if there are any questions there. Yeah.
You sort of addressed this, but just to clarify. So all the different apps are essentially integrated within the Zoho ecosystem, meaning that if I'm using one and I start using another one, the data should all be able to talk to each other pretty seamlessly, right?
Yes. So let me cover that. By default, most of the tools are different teams. That's one way the Zoho stays affordable. They don't have a lot of overlap, but they all have standards that they follow to be able to integrate. So some of them integrate right out of the box. Some of them you can do some tinkering, spend 20, 30 minutes or work with someone like me to connect them. They also have Zoho Flow, which is very similar to Zapier, if you're familiar, but that can connect external apps and internal apps. And you can fully customize using a programming language they've created to really do anything you want. So there are levels of integration, but by default, most of them talk in some way that would be valuable to you. But if there's ever something you go, I wish this could do that, it's possible. It might just take a small investment one time. Yeah. So this is an example of their analytics dashboard and just a quick example of some of the things you could do right out of the box. This is pulling from the CRM, from accounting, from their bookkeeping tool, invoicing, their deal pipeline, all in one dashboard. And it can pull from external tools as well. QuickBooks is one I've worked with. Socials I'll show later too. And analytics does come with the Zoho One subscription. This was a GIF, but in turning this into a PDF, I realized the GIF was not going to play, but it's an example, and I'll show you a real life example here in a minute, of the search functionality across all the apps and how it can be searched in one location and pulled from everywhere. So one example is a contact that you want to find all their files, all of the times you've mentioned their name in your internal chat, the documents, maybe their invoices, things like that. And you can integrate the search across other third-party platforms as well. So I see Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, Slack, Salesforce. There's other options. You can pull it all into that search. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go to the last
Yeah.
slide and just say that again?
Yeah. So with some integrations, you can pull from this. Yeah. So let me just jump to it now and show you a real life example. What this is it's called Zia Search. It is their representation of Siri. You can talk to it, things like that. And by searching in this toolbar, it'll search across the entire network of connected apps to pull up information. So here, this is the Tensor Hub. I'm picking on Brian Cox a lot today. So I typed in Brian Cox's name. I'll see all of his information in the CRM, some recent invoices for his membership, any email marketing campaigns we sent to Brian. The Notebook. Notebook is a lot like OneNote. So that's here in the corner. I can pull this up from any app and take notes. So I'll see call Brian. I don't know if it's easy enough to read, but and here I created a note that says if Brian Cox is in attendance today, Vince will buy him a donut, and he's not here, so I'll buy someone else a donut. So this can be integrated with all of these tools as well to have the single search for everything across your applications.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So the question, if you had bought Ashley
Mm-hmm.
could you reference her in the note with an @ sign and it be linked to her contact info? Her contact record?
That's a great question. I've never tried that. Does not look like you can reference in the notebook. Now, within the CRM, you could. I could reference clients, tickets, things like that.
It's probably just plain text.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is solely plain text. And that this.
Looks like those are checklists. I see it says checklist. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You almost like start your day and just like jot down a few things you need to do with like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is a very like basic notebook tool. They have more robust like project management tools if you want to use those.
Yeah.
You can even create tasks in the CRM.
I think it replaced the Post-its on my desk.
Could replace your Post-its. And then
also very basic.
yes, and then you could search them all from right here. So the one thing I want to caution everyone, like I said, that first picture of the cats, the reason I brought that up is because there's so much you can do, so much I like to do that it can be overwhelming quickly. So to answer that, like I would probably create notes in the CRM and then you can reference them directly to the client and to the company, but still find them here as well. But maybe for you, using the notepad is perfect, and that works also. So it's all about customizing to your needs. And out of the box, there's going to be 3 or 4 options for anything you'd want to do, and it's just finding what works best for your workflow. I like the notes a lot, though. In our own internal one, I have all kinds of notes there that I just jot down throughout the day, and then I add them to the other places that I like to manage my my projects from and whatnot.
Previous CRM I was on before, they actually had some similar, and they described it that way, where it's like, think of this as like a sticky note. because it doesn't live, it can easily be deleted. It's
Uh-huh.
something that you're okay with if you somehow lose that information, and if it's information you want to have, you create this activity record.
Yeah.
It was more like solid information in the database.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's how I use it. Yeah, just get down quick. Most, if not all, Zoho apps we're looking at have a mobile app as well. I love their notebook mobile app. So that's what I'll typically do. Pull it out, dump it in there. I can access it from here. And then when I'm ready to make it more actionable, I move it.
So each little thing has its own little app.
Most of them do, yeah. Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I could download one.
Yeah, I think I have 15 Zoho apps.
Okay.
But they all, like I said, all the teams are siloed. And it'd be a really bulky app if it could have everything. But with Zoho One, you can have the Zoho One app, and it links to other apps. It helps you figure out which ones you want to install or not install. But you still have to have multiple apps.
App to manage your apps.
Yeah. Yes. The app management app.
Yeah.
Like I said, cat's in the box.
Right.
And now maybe you're kind of looking out and you're getting a little comfortable. But
realistically, mobile, you're only going to use like one or two.
yeah, I think, especially if you have different team members doing different things, I think it may be a very specific issue to me since I'm kind of touching all departments and all areas. But yeah, the CRM app is fantastic. I like the app better than the desktop version, to be honest. It's less intimidating. But yeah, if you're just finance, you have the Books app, and that's all you need. And it pulls information, it syncs all across. So it's really all you need. So speaking openly, honestly, I have not set up integrations to search from external tools, but when I found this, I wanted to include it because I really want to do that.
So ideally, if you have like a shared drive,
Mhm.
and you'd be able to search people like type in their name, and then you document if their name pops up.
Yeah. And Zoho also has what they call Zoho Work Drive.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest ally of Google and Google Workspace. I've been a reseller for years. I love it. But Work Drive is very polished for business process in a way I've never seen Google Drive work. So as far as permissions and like draft settings, it's really awesome. But yeah, so this would pull, if you were using Google Drive or another tool, this would pull all that in and make it indexable and searchable. I don't know how it relates to customer records, but if you're typing the customer name and the name's in the document, that'll pull up. So their goal is no more application spaghetti. So you have all these different applications that maybe talk to each other, maybe don't. You're popping in between all these different things. So their goal is to have you be in one place with all of these internal tools. And still, if you need an external tool, pull in. I borrowed this graphic from a Zoho marketing document, and I just absolutely love it because we all can relate to that. So this is just a quick example. If you have an intranet, you can tie into your own databases, things like that. Again, more complex. You probably want to work with a consulting partner, but you can pull in from really any database that you build a connection for. So this is an example of an intranet that has a floor plan in their internal intranet, and you can pull that up. So what can you replace with Zoho One? The answer is a lot of things. I'm sure, I know there are more, but these are some of the most common tools you might be using that can fully be replaced by using the Zoho One suite. I know I was using a lot of these. And just to kind of show Zoho is growing rapidly, the Zoho One product launched in 2017, and they had about 5,000 users or customers at that point. As of 2019 is the most recent I could find. They're pushing 22,000, and it's skyrocketing. They're really growing out their partner program, people like myself, because they don't really do much marketing on their own. They don't spend millions of dollars on marketing, and that's how they can keep things affordable. So should you use Zoho One? I think yes, if you like to save time or money. If you don't like searching everywhere, if you value collaborating and integrations, and if you value customization. But if you like spending more money on things and you like that the tools you're using have a tower downtown with their name on it, then that's a reason not to use Zoho. They're not going to have a tower downtown. If you love searching across multiple tools, if you love remembering all your passwords, or you hate when your tools can really be customized to your needs, then no, you shouldn't use Zoho. But all jokes aside, I know it can be really intimidating looking into a new tool like this. So Zoho partners with people like Distinct and myself who are passionate about the product and love to help you make decisions and figure out the integrations for you. All jokes aside, when I was looking at this last year, it was very intimidating trying to figure it all out. Their website wasn't very helpful. I didn't have a partner guiding me, but I'm the type to dive in and just learn things. So I was able to understand the ecosystem. But really, for me, I think it's really beneficial for someone to talk through and understand the products more in depth. So this is the end of the formal presentation, but I wanted to walk through some of the tools we're using for the Tensor Hub and then open it up to any questions because, again, I could do a lunch and learn every day for the rest of the year and probably not cover everything that could be covered. So before, I guess I'll open up to any questions now before I go through some of the Tensor Hub tools.
How strong is Zoho in terms of its sort of network of different tools it integrates with always?
Yeah. So as strong as any other tool I've used, there's a lot of seamless integration through pre-built apps that you just push a button and they work, just like authenticating your email with different tools. Then using Zoho Flow opens it up to a whole nother realm of just drag and drop integrations that are really robust. And then this is a little off your question, but then again, with the custom programming, it's really straightforward to build deeper integrations. But out of the box, you can integrate with all the major players, QuickBooks, Google, Microsoft, anything you typically integrate with online is out of the box. Specifically for the CRM and some of the other mainstream tools. Analytics as well. Analytics can pull in LinkedIn, Facebook, social media, Google or QuickBooks, Google Drive, Work Drive, all those different things.
There's certain tools that I can see myself replacing, and there's others that I'm just stubborn with. I have to be.
Yeah.
I have to download the version. I don't even want to be on the version.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I agree. Like I won't switch us from G Suite or Google Workplace, but it integrates really deeply with both Outlook and Google. What I have pulled up here is Sales Inbox, which this is pulling straight from my Gmail. I can go to Gmail and send an email right now, but it also pulls all my emails into the CRM to keep records there. So I don't have to use this as my primary. I just wanted to show this as an example. But I for myself and for Tensor, I still use Gmail, but everything gets pulled right into the CRM seamlessly.
So do you respond to emails from here?
You can. I do not, but you can. And it's I wish I did, but I'm a stubborn old guy with my Google and I love my Gmail. But like this tool pulls right in. It shows your contacts and leads. It shows people not in the CRM. Anyone with a Tensor Hub email address shows here. And if I compose something, it has a suite of tools there and it goes through my email. I'll still be able to see it in my Gmail. So there's a lot of integration.
You can highlight your events at Tensor Hub and events at Distinct and.
I do not do that into Zoho, no, but you also could. You can add multiple domains. I can schedule this to send. It has email intelligence to know when the person receiving the email will be most likely to respond.
It doesn't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't know my best time.
Yeah. Well, right now it thinks noon.
Jokes on you.
Fair. And I just set this up today, and I haven't emailed most of you. What is so I don't know. Everything might be just noon. I want to see. Yeah, it doesn't even give me an option like that. Yeah. But so this tool adds these, like you can add a task, add a note, or add a response watch. If he doesn't respond within one day, this is just one of the tools. Again, I could go into tools for hours, each individual.
What's the pipeline for like sales?
Yeah, I got that right now, by the way.
Did you? Nice. So it just sent. Where do you see pipeline view? Or just in the CRM? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so fully customizable, but here, this is Brian's record. On the left side, you have all the related apps and lists that you work on. So here is an attachment, which was his review of the Tensor Hub. Emails I've sent to him. Here's a lunch and learn email. I asked him if he was going to come. marketing emails that I've sent to him.
Was there like view of like hot leads, cold leads, like if you think it's something listed like?
Yeah, so you can customize the deal pipeline and you can add labels and things like that through all of the, contacts, through all the different like main tabs. There's really robust filtering too. So like chats, attended, browser page visits. They have a tool called Sales IQ. It goes on your website. It tracks activity on your website. So that can all be pulled into here as well. You can set custom scoring. So if someone's been on your website for 4 hours and they visited 50 pages, you can make them a hot lead or stalker. I have Eventbrite tied in, so we can see people who've attended Eventbrite events and how many they've attended, all right here. For Tender, we use Zoho subscriptions. This is off because we just switched this month. Not everyone's been billed, but it'll show subscriptions per day. If we lose members, it'll show when they're leaving. We can track all those different churn rate, any reasons or problems that are causing people to leave. And this all integrates together. So within Brian's account right here, I can go in and see his subscription, make sure he's still subscribed to being a member here at the Hub, and really follow a holistic view of everything that he's done. I have too many tabs right now. Everything's going crazy. So subscriptions are going to be down here. And there I can see he's a regular member. He pays whatever member pays. And it's right there. And I can click on that and dive deeper too. One tool we integrate with at Distinct is their Zoho Desk. It's a robust help desk tool. And you can have emails, text messages, social media comments, social media messages, all being pulled into there, and have different teams that can access different parts of that and respond, comment. And again, that would pull right into these records. It would say Zoho Desk right here. And then I could see all of the records for that right there.
One of those images that you shared, which is what can replace.
Yeah.
Image of LinkedIn. Do you know anything about Zoho integration with LinkedIn?
Yeah.
How it would interact with anybody?
Yeah. So take care. That slide is a Zoho marketing slide. And what I have to assume they're saying is by using Zoho Social, you don't have to be actively on LinkedIn, because Zoho Social both lets you schedule out posts, but also create tasks if people are commenting on posts. You can do some automation, some RSS feeds, or scanning different social networks to see if you're being mentioned or for keywords, things like that. So that's my best guess of what they're meaning there. We don't use Zoho Social for ourselves right now, only because it has a limitation on how many accounts you can post to at once. So for us, we post to Distinct, Vince Aguirre, Shannon Detro, Joel Bottom. All those Facebook accounts get most of our posts. With Zoho Social, you can only post to one LinkedIn profile at a time, and one Facebook, things like that. But they are working on improving that. It's some legacy code that from 15 years ago they can't, maybe 10 years ago they can't improve. Yeah. Yeah. But what it's really nice for, if you're struggling to manage your comments and responses, messages, things like that, Social is a really good place because it can create tasks and tickets in your Zoho Desk, so that you can know if someone comments, hey, in your case, hey, I'm looking for an executive level position. Can you help me? You may never see that if you have 100 comments, but if you have these tasks being created on keywords, you'll be triggered and know like, oh, I need to respond to this person. So that's my best guess, is it's mostly social posting is how it's going to replace. I'm gonna pull up the chat, see if there are any comments. Is there a nonprofit option? So yes, they do offer nonprofit discounts. I haven't experienced them directly yet, but I do know all their tools have educational nonprofit options. Sarah, I can try to find some information and provide that to you. And we did actually just implement a online donation page for a nonprofit using Zoho Checkout. So really simple, one page, they can click donation amount, make it recurring, fill out their information, and go. You can buy all of these tools separately. I failed to mention that. They all have separate pricing if you wanted one or two tools. But for me, the Zoho One bundle is really nice because it's one price for all of these tools. And the pricing is pretty straightforward. If you buy a license for everyone in your organization, it's $45 per month. And if you buy a license for just a few people in the organization, it's $95 per month. So they incentivize getting your whole organization on board. I have asked them, how do they check that? You sign an agreement when you sign up, but basically they said like it's trust. And also along with that, if you have an organization that maybe has some employees that don't need these tools, right? Maybe they're cleaning the office space and they don't need to check a CRM. They do not have to be on for the full employee licensing. So you can get the $45 per month rate for just a select few of more of your workforce that needs the tools.
So this would have been maybe earlier slides. Does that scale in terms of the volume of contacts or anything like that?
No. Some of the with Zoho One, it's mostly all inclusive. If you're buying things separately, there is a lot of scaling. There's something, I think API calls you pay for if you get to a certain threshold, but for any small business, you're not going to reach any of these thresholds.
So marketing automation is part of Zoho.
Yes.
Or even take the automation. It's budget, email blast to 500 people,
Mhm.
and the analytics are open to that.
Yep.
Or 500 or 50,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, as far as I've seen with all the businesses I'm working with and working for ourselves, I've not ran into those limits. With Zoho One, it's very open. What I would say is I can look at the Zoho Campaigns pricing. Zoho Campaigns is the email platform. They do have tiers there, and then typically I can find any additional tiers for Zoho One, but they really open it up. They really open it up. Here are some of those other ones. Zoho Vault can store all of your passwords and share them across different permissions. One thing I failed to mention is that permission settings are really robust. So you can have permissions based on roles, based on titles. You can have shared permissions. With us, we have a team of 2 people who work together, and they can see each other's contacts. They can see each other's notes, things like that, but then not see another person, maybe it's not on their team's information. So that can all be very customizable. If you have someone who's just a part-time contractor doing one specific task, you can give them the small amount they need, and you can set it all up to automate. When you onboard someone, they get the tools that they need. Zoho People has a learning management system they just rolled out, and that allows you to create classes and have your employees take these courses, take these trainings, and then as they advance through them, get permission to the tools that they need, which is really nice to be able to build that out. Similar tools to that, I was looking at some, and those end up being $150, $100 per person per month. Again, that's all included.
What about like access to support?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways to go about it. You can go through all the different app supports. They all have different support teams. Each app's a little different. CRM and books have very robust, very fast support. Things like analytics, which isn't as big of a like emergency need. It's a little slower. And then you can also work with someone like Distinct, where we provide support in addition to the support they have in the apps. But I've really loved the CRM and the books and invoice and subscription support. They've been really quick to jump on a video share, things like that, because those are more mission critical. They have email, chat support, phone support for some tools. Yeah, and you can also, there's a partner support with a dedicated partner team through Zoho. That's what we use. They kind of onboard you, constant training. That's an additional fee if you want that, like hand-holding. I think you can even do that if you're working with someone like Distinct, although I don't know what the cost benefit would be. But yeah, it really, depending on the tools, it can be very robust support. And I've only really used support for a handful. I've used it for Sales IQ. And that was really good.
We had questions about some of the tools that you wouldn't be personally familiar with, right? Like
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Is that something where you would be able to set up some sort of conference call with whoever your Zoho partner is? And all this talk to it, or?
That's a great question. I've never set up a call. I'm sure I can. Typically, I gather the information via email, talk with that partner, support channel, and then educate myself. I want to have a very robust level of knowledge for all the different tools, even if we're not using them. But I can try to set up a call as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, certainly see the value in you taking that approach.
Mhm.
At the same time, I'm going to have follow-up questions that you wouldn't even think to ask.
Right. Yeah.
So it's almost like it could be 3 follow-ups.
Yeah.
That it looks as if we're all calling about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certain,
Sure. No, absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
What are your thoughts on, so as I've been putting a toe into the Zoho water, I've spent the money, I'm committed.
She jumped in. She's
I did.
swimming. Not.
I did, I'm drowning.
It's very normal.
So, my biggest question, like
Yeah.
with you being the Zoho Pro,
Yeah.
The thing that we need to integrate is projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a hard time figuring out like how to invest the time to make that project dashboard like work for us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I know that you are like very good at moving through softwares. Like you're good at understanding a software.
Yeah.
I'm good at like, I have my Gmail and I have my whiteboard and
Yeah.
I have and in my Gmail, it's like unread emails mean I need to do something. Now I have like, I start starring them if I need to do them that day. And then I have all these Post-it notes of things I had to do on Monday, but the Post-it's still there because it's not done yet. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I have this like system that works for me, but it's not really working for me, but it's also like to get it all into projects seems so overwhelming when there's already like all the work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
For like normal work.
Yeah.
And so like what is kind of your, I don't know, what are your thoughts on how best to manage that particular problem of like, now I want to adopt Zoho, but to adopt it in itself is hugely time consuming.
Yeah. Yeah. So the answer is going to depend a lot on your preference. Like I kind of throw it back to you, right? One option is to find someone like Distinct to kind of sit with you, understand your needs, take everything and just do it, right? Much like I'm sure some of your clients just were like, hey, just do the thing. I don't really know what the thing is, but do it and tell me what you need me to do. But then alternatively, it's really just jumping in, right? Like saying, okay, here's what I currently do. How can I currently do it the same way in projects and then figure out how to optimize things later? That's the approach I ended up taking because I didn't even know the partner ecosystem existed when I was learning. So I just kind of took everything, put it in, did some onboarding calls, and went, oh wow, I can do this. So then I tinkered. But if there's no time for that, then working with someone like Distinct just to sit down, listen, understand, and then have us build it out to your specifications could be a good option.
Yeah. What's kind of the pricing like for Distinct? Like what and you were talking about some of the more advanced coding, and I know you had some posts that you were recommending a little bit for that too. Like what is kind of that like price point to get that kind of help?
Yeah, so everyone's going to be different. We're still exploring our pricing, to be honest. Right now, for smaller projects, I want to just do them. I wanted to make it affordable for clients so we can get that experience doing it and we can get clients for case studies. We're actually hoping to work with the Chamber of Commerce on a case study of using Zoho for the chamber. So a lot of heavy lifting with no investment there. But partners I've worked with are ranging anywhere from 50 an hour for someone not very experienced or just kind of on their own, to some of the agencies are a couple $100s an hour. You pay for experience, and if they can get it done in half the time, sure, it's worth it. For Distinct, we really haven't settled on pricing yet. Again, we're building out systems for ourselves. And we want to build out some systems for people we trust and people that will give us referrals. So we're trying to figure that out. Yeah. But yeah, it's a wide variety. And for the custom coding, most agencies, even Distinct, partnering with people who can do that, kind of bundling it all in for making those robust systems. Yeah. Any other questions?
Recruit is not the way it is.
Yeah. Yep, it's included. Recruit alone is, I think, $45 a month for some other, I think it's $25, $50, and $75 if you're just buying Recruit. So most of the tools are priced in a way, if you buy 2 or 3, you might as well buy Zoho One just to get you into the ecosystem. We're using Recruit for Distinct for when we're looking for new talent, and then rolling that out for the Chamber of Commerce as well to create a job board for the community. So really, really robust. And sign, you can do all your document signing. Yeah, that's included. Yeah, we have some automation set up. When a new client joins, they get a document. It's kind of boilerplate, fills in their information, sends it to them, they sign it, saves it to their profile.
When you're using Zoho Books, does it tie to your bank account to where your bank is like feeding in and all the transactions are in there?
It does. Currently, we're only using it for invoicing. We wanted to take this year to still do expenses in QuickBooks. January 1st, we're going to move fully to Zoho Books, and it does bank integration. It uses Plaid or whatever that popular bank integration tool is.
Do they have anything for like expense management?
They do, yeah.
What would that be?
So I guess let me ask, when you say expense management,
Like something like Tiger Point has 3 people with credit cards, and we need them to like tell us what their credit card charges are. Is there like a tool that I could?
So I do not know. They have Zoho Expense. I think that does it,
Okay.
but I have not even opened Zoho Expense, so I cannot tell you. I know there's a podcast I listen to. They're a consulting company that does Zoho work, and I think they're building out some really cool custom stuff for inventory and expense to make a robust tool. And I think they've mentioned expense in the way that is expense management, but I don't know.
Just got a headache, you have to keep track of different people's credit cards. Well, this guy has 17 credit cards out there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm curious. I want to look into expense and see exactly how that works. But just to wrap up, kind of going back to these slides, saw it in the room. A lot of people started like this, got a little interested. Maybe they want to take the jump, or maybe you're back in the box and you're like, I don't know, guys, this is a lot of different tools. I'm overwhelmed. But regardless of where you are in the process, the mindset, I'm happy to talk. Right now, like I said, we're not charging anyone for brainstorming. We're not charging anyone for building out scopes of projects. I'm using it as a learning experience. If the work is a big project, maybe some billing involved for that. But if I can use it to sharpen our saw, then I'm happy to explore things with anyone who's interested, because we really love this platform. It's helped us a lot. I don't know what we'd be doing if we had to try to spend $44,000 a month or whatever that was. I don't know what tool we'd be using, probably Excel, if I didn't find Zoho. So it's really changed the way we can serve our clients, and I think it's really a great tool for small businesses in particular. So yeah, if there's no more questions, I'm going to shut down this live stream. And
What is the level of access to like a sandbox trial runs?
Yeah, so I know there are trials. How was your trial? I know you ended up upgrading, but
Yeah, it was a 30-day trial, and I was trying to get some kind of access to analytics, and I don't know if I just misunderstood. I knew at that point I was going to like buy it anyway, so
Okay.
I just like went ahead and made the purchase because it seemed like I couldn't quite get a good understanding of the analytics piece without being a subscribed member. But
Okay.
that could have been
Yeah.
a lack of understanding on my part.
sure.
Yeah, I would agree with my free trial on that. So it's pretty much everything except like the nitty-gritty details.
Okay, yeah. And we do have a free trial link if you want to use it. Going through us kind of pairs you with us as an advisor. It's on the Eventbrite and it's on the Facebook for anyone who's not here. But I'll also send that to you, Casey. And yeah, I think all the tools have some kind of free trial and a large amount of access. For you in particular, or anyone who reaches out to me, we can create full like sandboxes for you to test out. The only problem with that is there's no way to migrate the sandbox to a live environment. So if you spend a lot of time building it out, you got to do it again. But if you just want to test some things and you're like, I don't know, maybe my 30-day trial isn't enough, we could explore that too. But all right, well, I'm going to shut down the live stream. I don't see any more questions coming in.